Today, Saturday, the 26th of October 2024, we have some hand-picked match predictions to share with you, which will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to members-only match prediction picks, as well as accessing our top 10 and top 15 game predictions based on 1.5 and 2.5 goal match picks with huge odds, then of course you want to make sure that you join to become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan to start to have access to our top 10 and top 15 game predictions, which we share to members only to take your winning to the next level. So of course you want to make sure to take advantage of all of these features, having access to all our top game predictions, which we share to members only based on top 10 and top 15 to take your winning to the next level. The link is below. Just click and join the Level 2 Pro plan to start to have access to all of these features. So without wasting time, I'm going to begin with the first match picks of our today's list. Looking at the first event, we are looking at England in the Premier League, a match between Man City against Southampton. For this event, the performance of Man City based on recent event played shows that they are very offensive. You can see scoring between 2, 3, 4, and even 5 goals per each event based on recent games they have had. And recently, they just had the match in the Champions League against Sparta Prague and they beat it 5-0. Its opponent, on the other hand, Southampton, proved to be very conceding. And the offensive power is average, but the conceding power is very high. Looking at the performance of these two in terms of Man City at home, they are very offensive. That of Southampton at the way very conceding. And now looking at the stand comparison of these two, you're going to see that based on form placement, of course, Man City stand a better place. And the offensive power of Man City at home, based on recent event, prove that Man City is very offensive. For 4 events played, they have had 3 wins, scoring 11 goals and conceding 6. That's a very high offensive rate with an average goal score rate of above 3. That is almost 2.8 to 3, and the defensive power is better. Comparing with that of Southampton, on the other hand, you're going to see that Southampton proved to be more conceding. For 4 games played, they have conceded up to 10 goals, and the offense is not strong, having only 3 goals scored for 4 events. And looking at everything in place here, we want to look at 2 major picks for this event in full time. Looking at this particular event, of course, Man City proved to be very offensive. And the fact that they have an average goal score rate of above 2.5 and going to 2.8, the defensive power of Southampton, which is the away team, is very weak. Man City is going to take advantage of the weak defense of Southampton. Therefore, we want to look at Man City to win this match in full time, as well as the probability of 1.5 goals in full time or 2 goals over. Also want to look at combined effect of Man City to win and over 1.5 goals. This is a double bet at the same time. These are our top events or pick for this particular match pick. Looking at the next pick, we are looking at Germany in the Bundesliga, a match between Stuttgart against Holstein Kiel. For this event, of course, Stuttgart, which is the home team, proved to be better based on recent event they have had. And looking at the fact that they have mostly had games in the Champions League against teams like, for example, Juventus, and they beat or they had a lead. Also in the club friendly against Ulm, which they had a draw. That of Holstein Kiel, on the other hand, also proved that they have had games, especially in the club friendly. They also tried to have a lead 5-0, and you can see they are also good at conceding. This is going to be proved by the standing position of recent event they have just had, since this is the 8th round of this tournament. Looking at the form, you're going to see that based on the form table, you're going to see Stuttgart sitting on the 9th position have had 5 games played, scoring 11 goals and conceding 9. They are good at scoring, also very poor in defense. The opponent, on the other hand, is the most poorest in terms of defense. The defense is very, very weak, and the offense is average. And looking at this, we want to look at 2 major picks in this event in full time. Looking at these 2 teams, both defense is not good, especially the one which of course proved that its defense is very, very weak. Of course, with the very weak defense, it is very possible for the probability of the fact that they are going to take advantage of their defense. Since both of the 2 sides are good or average in terms of scoring power, but the defense is not good, we want to look at goal probability, since both sides want to impress. And looking at the fact that the impression rate being high and the defense is weak, we are looking at least 1.5 goals to occur in this match in full time, as well as 2.5 goals in this event in full time. Looking at the next, we are looking at Netherlands in the Eredivisie, a match between PSV Eindhoven against PEC Zwolle. For this event, of course, Eindhoven have proved to be very offensive based on recent event they have had, having games or being played on teams like the recent event they have had in the Champions League against PSG have proved that Eindhoven is also a very good team. Comparing with that of its opponent, on the other hand, they have mostly had games in the Eredivisie and they have had losses and the conceding power is average. But of course, looking at the comparison of these two in terms of recent event they have had, since this is a 10 round, we want to look at the form comparison. Looking at PSV Eindhoven, especially at home, they are very, very offensive. Having played 4 games recently, they have scored up to 12 goals. That's an average goal score rate of 3. But the defense is also very, very strong. And of course, looking at these, we also want to look at the probability of the matches being played by PEC Zwolle, which is the away based on the recent event. You're going to see that PEC Zwolle is not good at offense and the defense is average. Looking at this, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, PSV Eindhoven proved to be very offensive with an average goal score rate of about 3 and with a very strong defense. Of course, the weak defense or the average defense of its opponent, PEC Zwolle, will give opening for the home team, PSV Eindhoven, to score. Of course, we want to look at Eindhoven to lead since its defense is more stronger and the offense is also very strong, but the defense of its opponent is average. Therefore, PSV to lead this match in full time is one of our pick, and we also want to look at the probability of the fact that at least 1.5 goal is going to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next, we're looking at Latvia in the Veseliga, a match between Valmiera against Jelgava. Looking at this, of course, Valmiera, which is the home team, have shown that they are good in conceding and also in scoring. Looking at that of Jelgava, on the other hand, they do concede too much. But of course, the stand comparison of these two based on just recent events they have had as their form, I will share with you the recent performance of these two based on recent form. You're going to see that Valmiera's here proved to be better, having played 5 events, just 1 lead, and 7 goals scored, 8 concede. Its opponent, Jelgava, on the other hand, is just very good at conceding, but the offense is not very strong. And looking at the fact that Valmiera's have just had just 1 win here, which is looking at a better position to move more on this table, want to look at 2 major picks in this event in full time. For this particular event, of course, the home team, Valmiera, of course, want to look at every possibility to lead this match so that it can go better on the position of the league table. Its opponent, on the other hand, of course, will also try to impress, but Valmiera need this match the most. As a result, we want to look at Valmiera, which is the home team, to try to lead this match in full time. We also want to look at the probability of the fact that at least 1.5 goal or 2.5 goal is going to occur in this match, since both sides will not want to allow any opponent to lead. And since both sides will be fighting against each other, there is going to be the probability of high impression rate, causing goals at least 1.5 or 2.5 goals in this match in full time. These are our major picks being backed up by what we have explained. So 1.5 goal in full time as well as 2.5 goals in full time is our major pick. Looking at the next, we are looking at Serbia in the Super League, a match between SP Subotica against Zvezda, that is Crvena Zvezda. The home team have proved that they are very conceding based on recent event they have had, conceding up to 2 to 4 and even 3 goals per each event. The opponent, on the other hand, Crvena Zvezda, is very offensive, especially in the Super League itself. They have just recently had games in the Champions League against Monaco, but of course Monaco is a very strong team. Monaco lead by 5-1. But in the Super League itself, Zvezda is very offensive. And now looking at the stand comparison of these two, want to look at the form. You're going to see that Zvezda, of course, is the best here based on form. Having played 5 events recently, they have had 16 goals scored and all the 5 wins has been recorded. Very offensive and very defensive. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, they are very poor in defense and the offense is weak. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in this event in full time. For this particular tournament, of course, Crvena Zvezda is very offensive, having an average goal score rate which is very high, and the defense of its home is not that very strong. We want to look at Zvezda to lead. We also want to look at the probability of at least Zevda to score over 1 goal, or looking at least just 1.5 goal in this event in full time. Looking at the next, we're looking at Thailand in the Thai League 1, a match between Buriram against Lamphun Warrior. For this, the home team, which is Buriram, proved to be better and very offensive. They have had game, especially in the Champions League of Asia, that is AFC, they proved to be good, and also they have had games in the AFC Champions League as well. And looking at its opponent on the other hand, they proved to be very conceding. And now the comparison of these two based on the form. This is the 11th round of this tournament. And looking at the form, you're going to see that Buriram is the best here. Very offensive and very defensive. Having had 5 events played, they've had 4 wins, scoring up to 13 goals, as you can see here, conceding 0. This is a very high offensive team and a very strong defensive team as well. Its opponent, on the other hand, proved to be very weak in defense, and the offense is average. And looking at everything in place, want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this tournament, of course, Buriram, which is the home team, proved to be very, very offensive and also very defensive. But the opponent, on the other hand, the defense is not strong, and the offense is also not strong. The fact that Buriram, which is the home team, is coming home, it is going to take advantage of the home play. And the fact that it is very highly offensive, we want to look at it to lead. We also look at the fact that since the offensive power of Buriram is very strong and the defense of its opponent is weak, we want to look at Buriram to take advantage of the weak defense of its opponent to lead this match in full time, and also the possibility of 1.5 or 2 goals over for this event in full time. These are our 2 major picks. Looking at the next, we're looking at Turkey in the first league, a match between Uram against Yeni Malatyaspor. Looking at these two, both of the 2 sides proved to be good in conceding, and you can see they are very conceding. But looking at the stands, it is the 10th round of this tournament. We want to look at the form comparison of these two. And looking at the form table, you're going to see that, of course, Uram is average, having played 5 events, 2 wins, 9 goals scored, and 8 conceded. Good at offense, poor in defense. The opponent, on the other hand, is just the worst in defense. They concede very, very much. And looking at the fact that the home team having at least an average goal score rate of 1.8, 1.7 to 1.8, it is going to take advantage of the very weak defense of the opponent. As a result, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular tournament, the defensive power of the away team is very, very, very weak. As a result, the home being average in terms of offense will take advantage of the weak defense of the opponent. So at least 1.5 goal is what we want to look at for this event in full time. And to those of you who want to access our top 15 game predictions based on 1.5 and 2.5 goals, which we are going to share to members only, as well as our top game event for Sunday, top 10 and top 15, which is also upcoming. Of course, you want to make sure to join the Level 2 Pro membership package plan, which we share to members only our top 10 and our top 15 with huge odds, which you can make your own picks in the list, finding between your own 3 to 5 odds per slip to boost your winning by a greater percent. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video. You want to click, navigate, and join the Level 2 Pro package plan to start to have access to all of these features to take your winning to the next level. We provide top 10 and top 15 on Friday, top 10 and top 15, Saturday, top 10 and top 15, Sunday, top 10 and top 15, and also on some weekdays, sometimes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as well. So you want to take advantage of all of this feature to take your winning to the next level. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.